Well, hey there, entrepreneurs. Welcome back to our weekly live Ask Me Anything session where I'm answering your social media marketing questions in real time. If you're joining me live, go ahead and drop your questions about Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, IGTV, about Reels, about YouTube, about TikTok into the comments below, and we'll get as many answers as possible in the next 20 minutes. We had a number of really great questions sent in this week, and I want to jump in and give those priority answering. So let's talk about this. Eden jumped in on one of our videos on YouTube this week and said, "This is amazing information. I have found that when I make Reels, they actually get less engagement than normal posts. I wonder why this is if they're supposed to be pushed more in the algorithm." So Eden was on our video where we were talking all about the benefits of Reel. And I mentioned that with any social media platform, you will see the new parts of the platform pushed out more than the older parts of the platform because that is where the company is going to be focused on putting new ad placement. So right now, Instagram is building up their Reels content because that is going to be somewhere where they actually allow more ads to be shown in the future. So when it comes to Reels, we want to make sure that we're leveraging that right now. It's going to be really, really important to us as we are working on the platform. So if you are finding that your Reels are not getting a lot of views and that is going to be a problem for you, this is probably going to come back to the content that you're creating. Remember, when it comes to the algorithm, what they do is they take your content and they send it out to a select group of people. This is a test that they're doing to see how those people respond to that content. If people are engaging with it, if they're watching your Reels through all the way, or if they're watching it a second time through, if they are liking it, if they're leaving comments, if they're sharing it with people, if they are spending time on the platform, that tells the algorithm that you're doing good, you're creating good content, and they're going to show it to another group of people. Then based on how those people engage with it, they're going to show it to even more people. But if your first wave of people isn't engaging with it, if your second wave of people also is not engaging with it, they are going to stop showing it to people. So they only show it as far as people are engaging with it. So if you are not getting past that kind of initial stage, if you're not getting a lot of interaction with it, you're not going to do well with Reels. And they're going to opt to show Reels that people are more engaged with than yours because there's only so much space in the Explore tab. There's only so much space when people are interacting with hashtags. So they're obviously going to show what keeps people there the most, which means you may need to alter your content a little bit. Now, it doesn't mean that what you're doing is wrong or it's bad or it's not working. It just means that right now, the way you're presenting it might not be the way that your audience wants to receive it. You could potentially do the same thing for a different audience and blow up. Just because something works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you. And just because something works for you doesn't mean it's going to work for me. So that comes down to knowing our audience and really knowing who we're working with and what is going to be working with that type of content, with that type of audience. So try things out, test things out. Don't give up on Reels. This is actually the best part of the platform right now for getting seen because they are pushing it so strongly because they want to place ads there in the future. So right now is when you can play and test and figure out what works. So take a look at your normal content. What is it about it that people are engaging with? Is it the information? Is it the visuals? What is it about it that works? Try to implement that into your Reels. And then try different types of Reels. Sometimes it's going to be the music. It's going to be lip syncing. It's going to be dubbing. It's going to be pointing to the beats. Sometimes it's going to be delivering fast-paced content. Sometimes it's going to be cut up and clipped up segments to form a conversation or deliver content. Fast-paced tends to work better both on TikTok and on Reels and in videos in general. So you want to make sure that you are kind of paying attention to what is working, the Reels that you are watching, the Reels that are doing really well on the Reels platform. See who else is using those hashtags and implementing Reels into the hashtags that you are focused on and that you are putting out to your business, and see what they're doing. Do your own version of that and see how that works for you, but don't give up. If it is not going well for you right now, it's just because the content you're creating isn't syncing with the people who are watching it, and you may need to tweak it a little bit. So try something new. Try going out of your comfort zone. Try something that looks flashy on somebody else's page and could potentially work for you. There is no harm in trying and doing different things on your Reels because this is a part of the platform that is here and available for testing. So test things out, see how you're doing, and let me know, Eden, how you are doing with that. And I'm also happy to take a look at your Reels. If you want to send those over to me, I'll be happy to look at a couple of them and see what we could do to maybe tweak it a little bit to see how we can get this to engage with your fan base a little bit more clearly so that they stick around longer. All right, we had some great comments come in this week. Live Without Limits says, I really need to get my Instagram reel game on. Thanks for this. Smash the like button. Well, I am so glad that you hung out for my Instagram Reels workflow video. We actually broke down how I create Reels so that I'm not creating content every single day and I'm not spending a ton of time getting into it and getting out of it and getting it done. I make sure that I do this in a really strategic way to get my Reels going so that I don't have to worry about that. And I use this for all of my social media platforms as well. So go ahead and steal my ideas. There's even some checklists and bonuses in there that you can check out as well. Live Without Limits official. Thanks so much for hanging out. Always appreciate seeing your comments. Andrea jumped on and said, thanks for the tip. Would not have thought to tap it to get more time. We were talking all about Instagram Reels new update. We no longer have to restrict ourselves to 15 seconds. We now have up to 30 seconds of footage on Reels, which is a total game changer. I am 100% waiting for 60 seconds. Please, Instagram, hear us now. But this is a great update to the Reels platform that allows us to engage in a better way with our fandom. So thanks so much, Andrea, for hanging out and leaving a lovely comment. We did have a comment on our TikTok video, and they want to know, what number of hashtags do you recommend if somebody is just starting out? For example, 5,000 or less or more if we want to niche down so we can attract our target followers. So we were talking all about how you should be using hashtags on TikTok. Now, here's the thing with hashtags on TikTok. When it comes to these hashtags, this is 100% to train the algorithm. Most people are not searching for hashtags like they are on Instagram. That doesn't mean that some aren't. They are. And you will find when you go through your analytics, you will get some views from people searching for those hashtags. So you should be implementing hashtags. But when it comes to hashtags, this is to train the algorithm to show you to the right people. 90% of your views on TikTok come from the For You page, not even from your followers. It is from TikTok recommending your content to people. So when you are putting those hashtags in, that's telling the algorithm what fan base, what type of people they should be showing your content to. So when it comes to hashtags, there are a number of different theories on this. I am going to say to you, the most important thing you can do is have an engaging caption. This is something that's going to get people to comment or interact with your video in some way. Yes, you can put a call to action in your video, but your caption is important for that too. People do read captions. It's very, very important to make sure you ask a question there. After you have your important part of your caption, the important engaging content, get as many hashtags in there as you can. That's really, really important. So fit in as many hashtags as you can. Don't go overboard. We don't need like a million hashtags, and don't just do a caption full of hashtags because that actually hurts your engagement and your reach. So you want to make sure that you're using maybe 3 to 5 really good hashtags. And if you can fit more in, cool. If you can't get that many in, that's okay. Sometimes I have captions where I have enough of a caption that I can only fit 1 hashtag in, and that's fine. This just means that it's going to very specifically tell the algorithm where I'm going. But here's the key. When it comes to hashtags on TikTok, once you've trained the algorithm on where to put you on the For You page and who is going to interact with your content, they're actually not super necessary because the algorithm already knows who you are and where you belong. So it's okay to use less if you have more caption in there. The caption is more important than the hashtags once you've trained your algorithm. So now that you know about your hashtags, you need to make sure, and this was actually a conversation we had on this question. So I had responded with this. The next follow-up question was, okay, you have said not to use the big major hashtags on TikTok. So what do we do? So let's talk about that. When it comes to using those big popular hashtags like hashtag FYP, For You page, or hashtag some of those trending things that everyone's using, you have to remember, if you're using that hashtag, you're then dropped into that hashtag, and it is divided between everyone that's in there. So would you rather be one person in a hashtag of 10 people in that hashtag? This is 10. Or would you rather be one person out of 100 people in that hashtag, or one person out of 10,000 people on that hashtag? You actually want to look for more niche down hashtags. So do not use the big trending ones. You're never going to get seen there. It's not going to matter. Use the small niche down ones. That targets a more specific audience. It highly qualifies the people who are going to be watching you, and it means that you can get higher in that hashtag and do better in it because you're not competing with as many people. Niche down as much as possible. Now, if you look at the numbers and there's only like, a handful of hashtags, like let's just say 100 views on a hashtag, unless you're establishing that hashtag kind of for what you're doing and you're creating a series on it, maybe don't use that hashtag. Go for ones that are a bit bigger, that are popular enough that people are looking for them and has some connection to your type of industry and things that you're doing, but not so big that the entire world is using it. If you have random kids using those hashtags to get seen, those are the hashtags you want to avoid. So go very niche down with business hashtags connected to where your audience is. So if you're a home decorator, you want to look for home decor hashtags, but very specific ones, living room decor or throw pillow decor. You want to do Christmas decor 2020. Get very, very specific on those hashtags because you're going to rise to the top faster in the smaller, more niche down hashtags, which gives you more authority on the platform and kicks your content out to more people. So be very specific about niching down on your hashtags. The farther down you can niche, the better you are going to do. We had a great comment. This is, I want more Instagram tips. I am super excited that you jumped on our video all about how to live stream over on Instagram and how to do really, really well by being strategic about what you're doing. Thanks so much for joining. I appreciate all of your comments this week. Thanks for everyone dropping in with those lovely questions and comments. And Danielle wants to know, if you're trying to build your brand, do you need to be on all social media platforms? And this is a great question because oftentimes we feel like we have to do all the things if we're going to get seen and if we're going to grow. And I know it can be really, really hard and there's a lot of pressure to do things. So this comes down to your ability to function on social media. The more you can be on, the bigger you're going to build your audience. But it's better to go all in on one or two platforms than to spread yourself super, super thin and just kind of do a drive-by of all of the social media platforms. So I would rather see you be very, very specific and build up one or two platforms first and grow those and spend a lot of time there and spend a lot of time with those audience and really pour into them and give them your all. And then you can start to branch out more than to have you a little bit here and a little bit there and a little bit there and a little bit there. I say this a lot. This is an example I give a lot. And I actually give this in the author world because you guys know I'm an author. And it comes down to people trying to work on multiple books at once. So picture this. You are on a beach and people have dug holes in the sand and there are little kids everywhere and they're running around, and if they step into the hole, they could get hurt. So you have to fill those holes. So what's your strategy going to be for this? You can either put a scoop in the first hole and then the second hole and then the third hole and then the fourth hole, and you can start to fill them up and they slowly, all of them slowly rise to the top, but you still got lots of holes everywhere. If you have a ton of kids who are about to fall into these holes, it's going to be better and more beneficial to you to fill in one hole so that you don't have to worry about that at all and then work on the others. You can kind of corral them and keep them away from the ones that are dangerous while you're taking care of one of them, and then you don't have to worry about that, right? That kind of makes sense. So very much along those same lines with social media, it is better for you to very strongly build up a couple of your platforms. And I don't recommend just one. It's never going to be beneficial to you to put all of your eggs in one basket and just build on one. So I do recommend having at least 2 or 3 so that people in different places can find you and you can be working on those and building those up simultaneously, but strongly focus on one. So let's just say for me in my life, one of my businesses, I do have all the socials for everything. And I do put a lot of effort into them, but I very strongly put more effort into like my YouTube page. Like for here, I spend the majority of my time on my YouTube page. But I also spend a lot of time on TikTok and on Instagram building it up. But my priority, if something horrible should happen during my week and I just can't do everything, my priority is going to be my YouTube channel for this one. And for my author life, my priority right now is definitely TikTok. Even though I'm posting YouTube videos and I'm spending a lot of time here, I'm spending a lot of time on Instagram, I'm spending a lot of time on Facebook, my priority is where my audience is being built up the most. So I do recommend starting with maybe 2 or 3 platforms and then expanding from there. But pro tip here, please, if you have a business and you're going to be on social media, get all of your handles for all of the different platforms, because if you start to build things up, people can grab those platforms elsewhere. You do not want to build up your YouTube and your TikTok channel and then go to expand and have somebody posing as you on Twitter, or taking your handle because it's a common or a more common name and you not be able to get it. So even if you're not using Twitter, please get the Twitter handle. Even if you're not using TikTok, please get the TikTok handle. It's really important so that when you're ready, you have access to that. And that's just my little pro tip for you. Danielle, great question. Thanks for writing in. We have more comments coming in saying, I really need to learn more about Reels. I didn't know much about them yet, but I heard that they're good for the algorithm. And that is 100% true. Right now, it is Right now, it is the best part of the platform to get seen because it's brand new. They're adding more and more and more tools to it. They're spending a lot of time and effort on it, and they are pushing it out stronger in the algorithm and in the Explore tab. So when people are looking for hashtags, you're going to start to see more and more and more Reels. This is because they're going to run some ads there eventually, and they want to build up this part of the platform, so they're leaning heavily into it. And also, you have the ability to send this to your main feed, to your Instagram stories. You can repurpose this on the platform and outside of the platform. So this is something really important to be focused on. And I appreciate you writing in. I can't wait for you to learn more. We do have full playlists on how you can be using Instagram Reels in your business. So make sure you check those out. It's going to really help you to grow, learn the tips and tricks and the new features that not everybody knows about, like the Align tool, which is my new favorite thing ever. All right, we had another great question. And this one's one I really want to talk about. This is a very important one. This is about the TikTok rewards program and a little confusion some people have over it. So Jocelyn wrote in and said, my points don't go up despite me posting over 100 videos by now. I'm not sure what I've been doing. But it's 700 points since I started my TikTok account. So let's talk about this. The TikTok reward program is an affiliate program. So if you go into the rewards program, they give you a link, and you're supposed to use this link to invite your friends, your family, your people to TikTok. When people use your affiliate link to sign up for TikTok, to join TikTok, then you get points. And those points can be redeemed for all sorts of things. There are like gift certificates, and you can get like free months of like Adobe Premiere Rush was one once. You can play different gaming things that you would have to ordinarily buy coins for or something. You earn those points that translate into these freebies for you. So this is an affiliate program. It has nothing to do with the videos you're posting. It has nothing to do with the engagement you're getting on the platform. This is 100% an affiliate program where you are inviting other people to join TikTok, and based on them signing up, then you get points that you can redeem for the free things. Thanks so much for writing in, Jocelyn. I appreciate clearing up that confusion for you and for others. Thanks for asking the question that others have not. All right, moving forward, Jess jumped in and said, I always wondered what the Align function was for, and no one seemed to really know. Thank you for this. We're talking all about the Align function on Instagram Reels. It's my favorite thing ever, friends. It is so dang good because it's made for transitions. So if you are like swiping in front of the camera, or you're changing your outfit, your hair, your makeup, your look, you're doing something to do a traditional transition like you would do on TikTok that's super, super popular and actually pretty easy to do in a lot of cases, the Align function allows you to make sure you don't have some weird glitch or cut or jump when you are doing your transition. So go watch that video. Very helpful. Not a lot of people know what it's about, because unless you're coming from a very TikTok mindset with those transitions, that's not really something Instagram is known for. But they've given us this tool that TikTok does not have. So you can actually make TikToks on Instagram and send them over to TikTok. It's amazing. I'm super excited for it. And it is my new favorite tool inside of Reels because it saves so much time, effort, stress, and it makes sure that you look good while you're creating your transitions in your videos. We have another really great question that says, I have accounts on my iPhone and I'm able to use the 30-second reel option on only 2 of those accounts, not the third one. May I know why? Okay. So we were talking about how some people do not have the ability to have 30 seconds on Instagram Reels right now. It's still 15 seconds. And that's because it's a brand new feature. This only just rolled out, and it's not rolled out to everybody yet. So watch the video. I show exactly how to transition from 15 seconds to 30 seconds. It's real easy to do. You're just tapping a button, and not everybody has access to it yet. So if you have multiple accounts on a single phone, it's because it's not based on the phone. It's based on the accounts. So not every account has access to it yet. They're rolling it out still. If you don't have it right now, just wait a couple days. People have been systematically getting this over the last like 2 weeks. So do not stress. Do not worry. It is coming for you. And if you have issues with not having features on places like Instagram, I do have a video on why this is and what you need to know about, whether it's your phone, whether it's an update, whether it's something else, and how to troubleshoot that on the platform. So make sure you check that one out. I'll link that below for you. And you want to make sure that you have the latest on that, so that when you run across something like this and you don't have a feature on Instagram or somewhere else, you know why that is and how to troubleshoot it. Thanks so much for writing in. Keep me posted on when that transitions over to 30 seconds for you on the third account. Remember, based on the accounts, not on the phone that you are using in this particular case. We got another great comment that said, thanks for explaining this. I didn't know so much went into using the countdown timer. Listen, the countdown timer on Reels is amazing. It not only lets you do the 3, 2, 1 or 10, 9, 8 countdown so that you're in position and ready to go when you're recording, but it allows you to do cuts and only go to certain parts of the song that you're dubbing or whatever it happens to be. It is an amazing feature, and it has so many extra uses that you don't even think of until you get in there and you start using it. So thanks so much for checking out the video. I'm so glad that you appreciated the coolness that has gone into creating some of the features in Reels and in TikTok, because we know that's where it came from. T.S. Hall jumped in and said, thank you. I'm considering using Reels. What do you recommend for someone whose topic is spiritual in nature and our inner journey? Meditation and self-reflection makes for quite boring content. Thanks in advance for your help. So specifically when it comes to Reels, you get 30 seconds, up to 30 seconds of content. So you can't actually do meditation. You can't actually do self-reflection. You can't actually do some of those like quieter things that takes longer to do, which means you're gonna have to break this down. There's a couple ways that you can do this. So the first thing that comes to mind is that you can actually kind of do a process. So instead of thinking about like meditation and self-reflection, think about what someone who does like a yoga instructor or a physical fitness instructor. Just think in terms of that. What could they do to get a full workout routine into under 30 seconds? They wouldn't be able to actually do all the things. They couldn't do all the repetitious things because they don't have the time space for that, but they can do a sped up version of it, kind of break it down. So you can create a system. If you have a meditation that you do, instead of doing it with them, just kind of say, okay, 10 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this, 10 minutes of this, 5 minutes of this, and kind of talk them through that process that they can do on their own later on. And that works for some of these quieter things or things that are longer that will not fit in that 30-second time space. And you can go as high energy as you want or as low energy as you want, depending on your type of business. This speaking not just for this particular type of business, but all businesses. So you can kind of give them the process that they can then go do themselves. And that's a really great way to also redirect them to the full version, which I hope you are putting on YouTube. So they can get either the quick version that they can do on their own, or they can do the fast version, which they can do, or not the fast version. They can do the quick version on their own here from Reels, or they can do the full version with you on YouTube. Now, the other thing that you can be doing is kind of doing like behind the scenes, like preparation. Like, what do you do to get in the right mindset for meditation? Show that off. Show off things you can do after you've done your self-reflection, things throughout the day that can kind of help calm you down or center you a little bit more. So you want to make sure that you're doing faster paced, more exciting content, which I understand is a little bit different than what you're typically doing. So use this to go slightly outside of what you typically do. So if you're typically doing some kind of lesson where you're like going through and walking them through things, use this as an outsider view of that. What does it look like getting ready for this? Getting in the right mindset for this? What is it like when you're doing things after the fact? How has it changed your life? Really get into the storytelling of this and how it can impact their life rather than actually doing the process of it. So showing them kind of the other stuff around it, surrounding it to get themselves ready. And you can even kind of show some of like the chaos, specifically for this one, the chaos in life that might require somebody to want to do that meditation and self-reflection to kind of bring themselves back into themselves and what they're doing in their lives to kind of center themselves and ground themselves a little bit more. So show the craziness that is life and how that sometimes needs us to come over and kind of calm down and do the meditation, do the reflection, all those things. Show how everyday life requires something like this to kind of get back to where they need to be. There are lots of great ideas. Test those out, see how those work, and then pivot and tweak from there. Felicia jumped in and said, girl, I just love your energy. I always watch your videos. Great content, too. Well, Felicia, I love your comments. You always leave the most thoughtful, lovely comments, and they really make my day. So thanks so much for hanging out. I appreciate you being here, and I love, love, love seeing what you're creating as well. Danielle jumped in and said, can you mix personal with business, or should you keep it separate? And I love this question. I answer this one a lot because I think it's really, really important to hear this. You can mix some personal stuff with business, but there's some stuff you can't and you shouldn't be mixing with your business. So here's what you need to know. When it comes to your business, you are not talking about yourself. You are not promoting yourself. You are helping your clients. You're helping your followers in some way, shape, or form. You are here to take care of your clients. So the second you direct things toward yourself is the second they're going to look away. They don't care about you until you matter to them. I know it's a little harsh to hear. We all have to learn to go with that, though. My job is not to talk about my life or my things. It's to help you guys with social media and building up your businesses. So yes, I can talk about my dogs. I can talk about what I did this weekend. I can talk about hanging out with my baby niece, and I can talk about life stories, but I have to do it in a way that matters to you. If I'm just there saying that I am doing something in my personal life this week and it has no connection to you at all, are you going to stick around for that? No. For the most part, no. Some of you will because you like me and you just want to know more about me. But for the most part, people aren't going to care, and especially newer people to me, which is the people I need to make sure that I'm building a conversation with and getting to know them and getting them to know me. So I just have to spin it to go for something with them. So let's just say, as somebody who does social media marketing, and I'm teaching you how to build your profitable business on social media, and I want to talk about my dog, how would I do that? Well, I'm going to talk about my dog, but I'm also going to talk about your dogs. And I'm going to talk about how they impact our businesses. I may talk about how my dog sits at my feet and she's my business buddy. She helps me out with things. And that's a fun way to have a conversation, talk about my personal life a little bit, let people get to know me, opens the door to talk with them about their lives, their dogs, their interaction with them, and their businesses, as well as talking about my business. But I have to connect it to them in some way. Just because I go to a coffee shop doesn't mean people are going to care about it. But if I relate my specific coffee shop story to something that impacts them or affects them or they can learn and grow from, then it makes sense. And that way, I'm introducing themselves to me. I am giving them a reason to connect with me and have a conversation with me about something that is kind of on the personal side, is not strictly I'm trying to sell you something or I'm trying to do something businessy with you, but it connects to them with a specific reason that furthers their connection with me and with my business, and hopefully with jumping into purchasing a product or a service or a whatever from me. So hopefully eventually it's going to lead to money, but it's about establishing that connection. So use your personal life to establish that connection. Don't get too personal. Anything you would not tell a stranger, don't tell these people. They're strangers, okay? So we're not giving away like where we live or the hotel we're going to next week and the fact that we're not going to be at home, or, personal things that you do not want other people to know. If you're okay with people knowing about maybe a personal loss that you've just gone through, that's okay. Go ahead. You can talk about that. Just connect it to them. But don't tell them things that could get you in some sticky situations. So be mindful of what you're sharing. Go ahead and share your personal life. Keep your drama out of it. No one wants your drama. Save that for your friends and family and your personal Facebook pages. But definitely go in with the idea of being personable and have that connection with people as you are doing it and relate it back to them. Again, you're not just talking about your coffee order. You're talking about how your trip to the coffee shop affects and impacts them and how they can learn and grow from that as well and make a difference inside of what they're doing in their lives or their businesses. If you've got more questions, I would love to get those answered for you, but we are definitely a little bit over today because we wanted to get a lot answered for you. So if you've got more questions, go ahead and drop those for me. I would love to get them answered. I will see you next Wednesday, where we are live every 10 a.m. Eastern on Wednesday here on YouTube, and our live streams on the other social media platforms throughout the course of the week as well. We're going to be continuing our conversation on Instagram Reels and on TikTok this week, so stay tuned. And I've got a brand new surprise for you that is dropping tomorrow, so stay tuned. Big things coming, and I will see you next week as we're answering more of your questions. Until then, stay inspired, friends.